Comrades, I am presenting best Soviet cruiser, Stalingrad. Strong like bear, armor like a mountain, guns like battleship, ridiculous radar, incredible balance, more equal ship for the worker, if they have enough steel.
Hey everyone, my name is Clyde and this is Play by Play. Today, we are in the premium Tier 10 Soviet super heavy cruiser, Stalingrad. Now, Stalingrad is a steel ship, and steel is one of the rarer currencies in World of Warships. Obviously, you've got your tech tree ships, which you can unlock by earning XP and spending credits, or silver as we sometimes call it. And there are also special premium ships that you can only get by spending what are called resources. Now there's resources like coal, which is actually pretty easy to get in small quantities. You can earn coal every single day, but steel is usually a little harder to come by. There's the occasional mission that'll get you a little bit of steel, but most of the time you have to earn steel in competitive play, like ranked or clan battles. So if you want to unlock a steel ship, you got to get into competitive play and you have to win matches. Probably the only currency harder to get than steel is research points. And it's not even that it's harder to get, it's that you have to take a tier 10 ship that you've got now and reset it all the way back to tier 1 and play the line again in order to unlock research points. So it's an incredible investment of either work or free XP. I had to spend research points to get my PAOLO EMILIO, which is an absolutely bonkers Italian destroyer at tier 9. And I made a really cool video about it. I recommend you go watch it. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, with steel being as hard to come by as it is in World of Warships, not everybody has a Stalingrad in their port. Stalingrad has been available in the armory for a very long time though. In fact, it was the first steel ship I ever got. So you'll face one of these things in clan battles far more often than you'd like to, and it is a beast. Before we get started, I want to thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please like and subscribe so you'll never miss another episode of Play by Play. With that out of the way, let's get right into the action so you can see what this monster of a ship is capable of. So far in the battle, I haven't moved very far towards the enemy, and this is a really good thing to keep in mind if you're playing one of these super heavy cruisers. Even if it's not a Russian one like the MOSKVA or the Stalingrad, maybe it's the Yoshino or the big super German cruisers, the Aegir or the Siegfried. You want to make sure that you don't wander in a little too hard and get burned down by fire spammy cruisers or gun happy destroyers. So early in this match, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm keeping this island on my right side. The reason for that is that island forms impenetrable armor between me and any of the bad guys up there at Delta Cap who might be looking to score some free damage on a Stalingrad. I've told you already the Stalingrad is a very strong ship, but it is in no way impervious to heavy fire. And so I'm kind of tucking behind this island, slinging some shells over there. With the muzzle velocity of Russian cruiser guns, or really Russian guns in general, it can be difficult to shoot over islands. I'm really lucky in this map that there is a low hill there, both in front of my island and also that next island ahead that I can shoot over without, having my shells impact the surface. So I'm able to get some fire on this Grosser Kurfürst that's coming around, although I back up a little too much, trying to keep as much of my ship behind that island as possible, but that does result in me hitting the island closest to me with some of my shells. We're taking a passive stance on the Delta Cap right now because the enemy team seems to have more steel in that area. 21,947 damage on the clock so far, and a MOSKVA looks like he's wandering in. I've gotten excellent spotting so far from my ally here in the Holland, and I've got a division mate, Hindenburg, who's behind me, who's been sailing around in the backfield throwing HE shells at bad guys. I did just take a little bit of damage, and I'm going to speed this part up here because I do like a 3-point turn here behind this mountain, and it takes forever. So let's check out this mini-map. The Kurfürst and MOSKVA are pushing into Delta. They think they've got us on the run. My Holland has retreated. I am trying to get oriented so where I can shoot on the east side of the island that I've been using as a shield. And my Hindenburg has beat feet. He is leaving me to deal with this, but I'm pretty sure he's still slinging shells over the side. And it's kind of a good thing that he went to that angle, because look at this. Here comes a Montana sneaking around that eastern side of the map. I throw a few heavy AP shells at him as I try to turn my bow towards the enemy to make sure that I can bounce as many shells that are going to come at me as possible. Angling is everything in this against armor-piercing shells. And then Montana, you can see he's doing it too. He's angling towards me in order to make it harder for me to pen him. I throw some shells at him, but it looks like he's actually turning his bow south. And I don't know exactly what his motivation is there. He should know the Stalingrad is a huge threat to a US battleship giving up a broadside, but he doesn't seem to care. So I keep the shells coming. As soon as I get them loaded into the tubes, they are going out. In the meantime, the Kurfürst up in Delta has been burned down, but the Moskva remains, and the Moskva is a great ship. I've got another video on that too, which you can find on my YouTube channel. But the Moskva's chucking shells at me. Cool thing about the Moskva is its rate of fire. It can shoot under 10 seconds. I think it's actually about 9 seconds, which compared to the Stalingrad, which reloads, I believe, in like 15, 16 seconds, is an incredible rate of fire. And it's got large shells, which means it can burn my Stalingrad faster than I can shoot back. So I am going to push nose in and move up north to use that island as a shield. Again, same tactic as before, but this time against the Moskva. I'm going to keep my guns looking at this Montana, because if he is foolish enough to step out from that island and offer me up a broadside, you bet your sweet Russian can I'm going to take it. So my shells and my guns are aimed. I'm reloaded. Armor-piercing rounds are in the tubes. The Holland is over there, and he's throwing torpedoes at him, just like a good Holland should, which I really appreciate. As I lie in wait for the Montana to come around the corner, I wonder what he's thinking. He has to be bloodthirstily chasing the Hindenburg, blinded to all of the dangers that surround him. And as the Moskva begins to round the corner, look at that. He is offering up the broadside. Now, partly that's because he probably sees those Holland torps and he's trying to avoid them. Bam! Big hit from my guns, and I'm looking to do it again because he's still sailing broadside. No fear whatsoever because of my giant Stalingrad guns. He's going nose in on the Hindenburg. He is a man of singular purpose, and he pays the price. Stalingrad takes his first victim today. Perfect. 72,000 damage on the clock, although I am starting to receive damage from over the hill. I am going to reposition to see what I can do about Delta. The Moskva has backed up and the Hindenburg is moving back north. So I feel like we've gotten some support here. Petropavlovsk is coming over. We got a Zao. We got an Ohio. We have a heck of a raiding party, and we are moving in on D to see if we can't solve some of the problems that we've got up there. So take a look at all of the ships on the east side of the map, at least the friendly ships. They're all moving north because everyone feels like we've got some momentum. We dumped a couple of boats, and now it's time to move in. I'm steaming around this island here, still using that as cover. I've got 3 friendlies to the northwest side of it. They're going to spot me trouble before I do. We already know that Moskva is up there and has been spamming me, so he knows I'm here. I'm expecting some fire. There goes a few Moskva shells right there that are going to my Kurfürst over my right shoulder. So as I round this corner, we see the Moskva up there. He's getting a lot of fire put on him. There's probably 5 or 6 people targeting him, and I bet you that doesn't feel great. I've got AP in the tubes. For the moment, I leave it in there, and I aim kind of at the superstructure. Not great shots there. A couple of ricochets, some bouncers. As I round this, I get my nose pointed towards the Moskva. The reason here being that I want to make sure I am going to be as bow tanky as possible against his shells as they're coming my direction. As I slap him there for about 7,000 damage, that indicates that, you know, given the right hit, I can still do some damage, even though he's bow tanking pretty well as well. But the onslaught of shots coming in from the Ohio and from myself and the Petropavlovsk, as well as the Montana, my friendly Montana that's coming around, this Moskva is not long for this world. The enemy, however, is sending 2 more ships on in to back this guy up. As he goes down to our Zao, an enemy Petro comes up around this little peninsula. Behind him is another Montana, similar to the Montana I just dumped in the southeast corner of the map. This guy is also fairly broadside. He does have a little bit of island cover from me and the Petro right now, but our Ohio has probably overextended. As he pushed around the island there, he got himself into kind of a dangerous situation. I am bouncing my guns up and down to see if I can get eyeballs on the Montana over there. I'm just clipping the top of those trees and those rocks. It's stopping my shells from coming around. I don't want to step out there either, because if you look at my ship, it's perpendicular to the Petro and Montana. So whichever team steps out first is going to be perpendicular, in other words, giving up a broadside to the enemy team. So I put the skids here. My ship, you can actually see, is in reverse as I wait for my next opportunity. Big hit, over 12,000 damage on the Montana right there because he's far enough away. He responds with a pretty big hit against me, smash my hull repair, and I keep shots going over the trees to him. As he moves forward, the trees, the island, it's getting lower and lower. So it's becoming easier and easier for me to hit him over that island. He's turning towards me a little bit. If he continues that turn, it's going to make him a lot harder to citadel or even just to pen with my shots. The Petro up front isn't really offering me that much of a challenge. He's just sitting there. I don't think his shots can get over the island. Can't hit him. I know he's taking shots at my Zhao and the other ships that have gone a little further past me to the east. I stick my nose out here. This is probably a stupid move because it's the thing I was telling you about earlier. If I stick my nose out, I'm going to be perpendicular. I execute a left turn as I do it. It allows me to gain a little bit of angle before I put myself in harm's way. And it's a good thing too, because as I round this corner, I'm in harm's way. I got a lot of fire coming my way right now. Their Petro is right there, takes a chunk out of me. Their Montana is shooting at me. I can respond. I hit the Petro for a few thousand damage, but the shots are continuously rolling in. There's a big hit against me, 2 of them, and so I throw it back in reverse. I'm like, this is not fun. This is not where I want to be. But because the Montana is having success hitting me, he leaves open his broadside, which is incredibly foolish with a Petro and a battleship and myself all throwing shells at him. He is looking very, very, very threatened. He throws shells at a few of us. I hit him for a few K there. It's just this constant onslaught. My Petro, you can see the guy to my right, he stepped out. He was very eager to get in on some of this damage. I think he looked at the scoreboard, saw, hey, they're winning. I can just steam out there and be a little risky. But unfortunately, he puts himself in a really tough position. He gets beat to crap by the enemy Petro, who just went down. But he won't be able to survive this Montana salvo. No way. Yep, and so the Petro has been sunk. We've got the Montana and myself are over here. Boom! I get my second kill of the day. Goodbye, Montana. That was a really brutal engagement. So many hit points lost. I'm at 143,000 damage, almost. And we see an enemy MOSKVA around the corner. We're going to see if we can't go over there and bring that guy down. Looking at the score and the positioning, my team has a lot more ships than the enemy team, but they have a better cap setup than we do right now. Currently, the Montana and myself are going to capture the Delta Point. Now, I don't believe any red ships are on my half of the map, and this is because we have 5 position reports for the 5 ships that remain on the enemy team. The MOSKVA here is almost dead, so me and the Montana are going to finish capping this Delta cap, move around, and try to throw some shells at that guy while he attempts to escape. After that, these 4 ships that we're trying to deal with are really the only thing standing between us and a victory. My team, like I said, our positioning is not perfect right now, so it's going to be very important that as we identify the locations of these ships, we approach them in an intelligent way. What we want to make sure we avoid is wandering into this cluster of 3 or 4 bad guy ships one at a time and allowing them to focus fire on us. If they can form up in a horseshoe and we line up and walk in there like bad guys in a kung fu movie, we'll all get wasted and we will lose this match. Got a small hit on the Hindenburg and then attention back on the MOSKVA. So as we come around the corner here, the Montana and I are going to be able to have our way with this MOSKVA, no trouble. Boom! The Montana dumps him. Now we turn our attention back to the Hindenburg. I've got APs loaded in the tubes right now, and this is not the best angle to shoot a Hindenburg with AP. They've got that German turtleback armor, and at this range, I'm probably not likely to do a lot of damage. So I make the switch to HE in hopes that I can burn this guy to death. I'm using this island to my left as a security blanket. Just like earlier in the match, I was using the island to protect myself from the ships I wasn't ready to engage yet. I'm using that island to say the only person I want to fight on the enemy team is the Hindenburg. And so the Yamato and the Minotaur and the Thunderer that are over there, they can't hit me until I steam out past this island, at which point they might be able to get some crossfire on me. So for the moment, I'm really just engaging this Hindenburg. And with the help of my Montana buddy, we're going to bring this guy down. I've got him on fire right now, and I've got more shots on the way. That's a second fire on the Hindi, and he's going to go down here very quickly. Goodbye. Yeah. Burned him.
Perfect.
That's 3 kills for me today. 165,000 damage in the Stalingrad. Low on health, I've only got 21,000 hit points of my own left, but now I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I'm going to move up. The 3 bad guys' ships are all kind of centered around Bravo right now. Our Holland is spotting them, so we know where they are. They're all about half or less health, and that Minotaur is like a piñata. Tap that with a few Stalingrad shells, and it'll pop. Okay, coming out of turbo time, I pop my radar to see if we can find that Minotaur who disappeared, and we do. He's gone north around this island, unsure of whether or not the Montana and I were up here. My Montana's on the outside lane, so he's going to be able to get shots on the Minotaur first. I'm taking a look at the Minotaur, popping my guns up and down as I get ready to target him as I come around the island, but I also am keeping my eyes on the Thunderer. I may need to help out my Howland. The enemy team actually made a pretty good push. It's back to 2 ships on their side versus 4 on our side. I get a small hit on the Minotaur here. I decided to throw a couple of shots at the Thunderer. If I were to take the last hit, I would have scooped up a Kraken if I also killed the Montana. Long shot, I know, but the Howland is over there doing a great job, and he takes the kill. Congratulations, Howland. The Montana, again, that outside lane benefiting his shots here. I'm hitting the rocks, things like that, but I do pick him off for about 7,000 damage, and here it comes. Montana takes the final kill against the Minotaur, and my team emerges victorious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining and educational. If you liked what you saw today, please hit the like button and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode of Play by Play. If you can't wait for the next episode, go check out the other videos that are on my channel right now. There's a whole stack of play-by-plays just like this one. Thanks again for watching. Take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next battle, Captains.